Hello and welcome to Is There Something in This, the podcast where Jason Chatfield and I, Scott Dooley, come up with our cartoons for the New Yorker magazine.
That was very clean.
Felt good.
That's very good. No hangover?
Felt good.
That's good. You must have done yoga this morning.
I did.
Or something. Very clear of mind, Scott.
Just before we get into the thing, I don't have much this week. I'm not happy with this week.
Listen,
do you have much this week?
I've got a few, but let me tell you this. Whenever you're thin, I seem to be on a bit of a roll, and whenever you're on it, I'm like thin as...
Right,
So
okay.
I feel like we balance each other out.
All right.
As well as that, we may end up just going on a tangent and finding something completely new.
That's right.
And we've got a couple of good suggestions. So
Oh, well, that's good.
yeah. So stay tuned. Bit of sizzle.
Oh, there you go. Stick around.
Stick around. Yeah, if you've stuck
Now,
around this far.
You sizzled me before the show by saying that we got some feedback.
Oh,
on
we
a cartoon?
did. Well, yeah. The World Cup cartoon went very well. I can't wait to stop caring. No, I can't wait to
Stop pretending to care about this.
a great cartoon, if I may say so myself. You came up with that one, I think, last week as a daily.
Before the
Pre-World Cup
World
final.
Cup final. That's
Didn't
right.
get a Guernsey, but I thought it was a cracker, so I posted it, and it's gone nuts. Everyone loves that one.
Oh, good.
The next one I posted was the one that we also pitched. If you listened to the pod, you would have remembered Scott pitching the one. It was the sort of Jehovah's Witness in Union Square handing out the pamphlet saying, "Would you like to read about what a terrible person you are?"
Yes.
And now it wasn't specific to Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses.
Just general religion.
Just general religion
thing.
being
That's
foisted
right.
on people, telling them why they're horrible people because they're not repentant.
Yeah.
So we got, classic. I mean, I'd expect this on Facebook, not so much Instagram. Got a bit of biffo going on the old comment section.
Really?
Yeah. I've deleted it because I just don't want people to weigh in. It's just an invitation. So someone said they were someone from. I shouldn't have used the hashtag Jehovah's Witness. But
What did they say?
Moths to a flame, Scott. They
Really?
came in saying how offensive it was that they're telling people what terrible people they are. And I said, well, I'm frankly offended that you're foisting your beliefs and way of life on me and everyone else.
So you de-escalated the situation.
Yeah. No, I just poured a whole bunch of gasoline on that little flame. Just the concept that. Because I always take them. I always take the flyer. I always take the brochure. I read it on the
Really?
train. Oh, I love it. I think it's hilarious.
That's weird.
And I did Bible study in high school. It's the best way to make you an atheist is be forced to do Bible study in high school. And I had a read in Orlando. I got one as a graphic novel. That was a fun twist. A graphic novel, Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, that's good.
Pamphlet. But anyway, it was like something like. You are an unrepentant ne'er-do-well or some weird old
Right.
archaic...
That's great.
Wrongdoer is the word they used.
Oh, okay.
An unrepentant wrongdoer. Now, wrong according to their prescription of how, we're just diving into religion right on the top here.
Yeah.
But basically I just said, listen, that's great. I'm glad you guys, help people in need. The problem and the point of the cartoon is when you go out of your way to assertively kind of foist it on people.
A bit like you're doing right now in the comments
In the comment section, you're not helping your argument here.
Yeah.
So, also it's a cartoon. Take a breath, So,
Yeah. And
I
you're
don't know.
searching the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
The hashtag.
And I don't want to engage with trolls, so I just deleted the whole thing. I was like, this is a waste of time. But
Right.
yeah. But, good to get some feedback. Well, never be afraid to give your feedback, ladies and gentlemen, on the old Instagram. Uncle Chatfield might just pour some gasoline on it.
I went in to the New Yorker.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Dooley popped his New Yorker cherry this week and went into the New Yorker.
I did. I'm never going back.
What was your experience?
It was bad. It was okay. It was all right. I saw Ellis. Which
Ellis,
is nice.
Jay
We had
Rosen.
a chat with Ellis. Yeah.
All right, we'll tick that box for the episode.
Yeah, the Ellis. Yeah. I said that. We kind of joked around about that.
I knew going in that it wasn't your thing.
No.
Because I know that you given the option, would just prefer to lock yourself in a David Blaine-style box for the rest of your life and never have to see another human being.
Right. Yeah.
So it was, I deeply appreciated you going in. I had to be in Hoboken in New Jersey, so I wasn't able to go in.
I got a
Believe
message
me,
from you at 7:30. It just said, Hoboken stinks. And I didn't even hear from you for like 3 or 4 hours.
It really fucking did. I was at an ad agency and it really stank.
Because it was honestly the first thing I saw when I woke
Yeah.
up. I was like, oh, that's right. He's gone to Jersey.
Otherwise, it would have been good. Believe me, I could see the World Trade Center from Hoboken, just longingly looking at it. It's this obelisk, and just go, I wish I was there.
It was
the Great World of Oz.
I used to always want to do this joke. I lived in the West Village, and I'd walk down to the Hudson River, where you could look over to New Jersey.
Yeah.
And I would always think, like, the idea of someone looking over there going, one day.
Just longingly looking at it.
Behind you is Manhattan.
Yeah.
And
There's like a golden oil slick like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Just horrible. The Hudson brown.
Could that be a
special
joke?
colour.
Someone looking over, like,
Well,
one of the. If I make a few more bad decisions,
that's not bad. Yeah, I'm one more bad decision away.
decision
You know, a lot of the banks are actually building over there in New Jersey because of the it's cheaper, and they're moving that sort of Wall Street and Midtown banking sector over to New Jersey.
Oh, right.
Because it's just that quick. It's just
We
another
just-
stop on the tunnel, the PATH train. You've also got like straight from World Trade Center. It just goes straight across.
Yeah.
And you know the ferry. It leaves.
The ferry's nice.
Yeah, there's a bunch of ferries on the west side there.
Yeah, there are.
What are we doing talking about New
That's
York
right.
geography?
Yeah.
Anyway, Hoboken, I took a bus and I deeply regretted it.
What is it you in buses?
I'm an idiot. I don't
Why
know.
do you get a bus?
Actually, but I came up with a pretty decent joke for it.
Go on.
So this is my first one for the week.
Okay, good.
So it's 2 buses, right, at Port Authority.
Yep.
And one of them, and this is apropos of something that actually happened where I went to the bus stop and there were 3 different numbered buses and I didn't know which one went back to Manhattan, right?
Right.
I just wanted to get the hell out of New Jersey.
Sure.
And there was a pregnant woman sitting on the bench and I said to her, excuse me, does this bus go to Manhattan? And she goes, yes. She was very friendly and I was like, oh, that's nice. So I sat down next to her and I said, I just sort of started going through my phone. And then as soon as this bus came, I was staring down at my phone. I sort of stood up while I'm on the phone, and she went, no. I went, what? I thought I was stepping in front of the bus. This one went to Patterson. She went, you do not want to get on that bus.
No.
And then I was like, oh, thank you so much.
Have
I
you
didn't
been
realise.
to Patterson, New Jersey?
No, God.
Have you driven through Patterson, New Jersey?
I've seen the film Patterson.
Yeah, well.
but that's about it with the falls.
Yeah.
I've seen people be thrown off that bridge.
It's
that overpass.
Yeah, it's full on there.
And then she just kind of stared into the middle distance when she sat down, just, you don't want to go. I'm like, what the fuck happened to you in Patterson, New Jersey? So it's Port Authority. There's 2 buses. And you know on the bus where it says where it's going?
Yeah.
On the top. So there's a line for one bus and the other bus there's no line. But the bus with no line says Hoboken. And then the other one says mystery location. And the guy at the end of the line just going, I'll take my chances.
That's pretty funny.
I thought, or even if it just said out of service and everyone's still lining up for the other bus.
Yeah.
Just anything to not
What
take.
about if it's one of them's Hoboken and the other one is not Hoboken?
Yes, that's great. That's fantastic. I love that. That's it. That's the joke. See, or maybe it's like, because I will often have to do a comedy club called Bananas Comedy Club in Hasbrook.
sounds
Heights.
great.
It's bananas, Scott. And it's a 2-nighter. You do 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. And it's out in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, which is on a highway at a Holiday Inn.
Great.
Classic. So you have to take a bus there and then schlep a little while. You have to walk from the bus quite away from the main
Who's
street.
the audience?
It's a lot of like 40 to 60-year-old factory worker, sort of mechanical worker, tow truck driver kind of, and then some hens night. There was a party of 86 last time I was there. So does that give you an idea?
Hell.
It's a Holiday Inn banquet hall turned into a comedy club for 2 nights.
God.
These are the gigs that pay. My agent, I go, can can I do some different clubs? He's like, oh, we'll keep you going at Bananas for a while. So maybe it's Hasbrook Heights instead of Hoboken. Although Hoboken does sound funny,
Hoboken is funnier. And
it's a
people
funny
know
word.
it.
Yeah, people know it. And it's also just fun to poke fun at Hoboken. It's actually not that bad a place. It's quite nice and neighborhoodly and like everyone's gorgeous and pregnant. It's not that like horrible a place.
Yeah.
It's very lush, but it is funny to make fun of.
Oh, it's very fun to make fun of.
So that's I love that. So 2 buses, one that says...
Sinatra was born in Hoboken.
Frank Sinatra Way is where I walked to get to the bus
Sinatra.
through the park.
Yeah.
That's right. He was little Frankie Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my Hoboken bus joke.
I like it. What else have you got?
All right. I've also got one that is a physical therapist's office because I've done my shoulder. I did a bad angle. I got a bad angle on the old barbell one afternoon, and I've done something to my shoulder.
Jean-Claude Van Damme? Injuring yourself?
I've done my shoulder.
Injuring yourself at the gym? What is
I'm an
this?
old man. My right shoulder, my right arm sits forward because I draw all day. So my right shoulder sits forward in the socket.
This is the most unrelatable thing for a cartooning podcast.
It's true.
Like, no one listening or participate can relate. Like, you don't... If you're listening to this getting swole, I apologize.
Yeah.
But I don't... In my mind's eye, our audience isn't...
They've tuned out. They're going
Isn't a guy with a Gold's Gym singlet on that is cut down to show nipple.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway, so you've
I've done
injured
my
yourself.
shoulder. So I went into the physio.
Sure.
And he gave me, and as he often does, he's a lovely guy. Unfortunately, he's a Mets fan, but he's a lovely guy. And he gave me these exercises to do. And every time I've gone to the physio, throughout my whole life, if I've ever had some kind of ailment, they give you this sheet with exercises to do. And they're boring as batshit. You're not going to really do them every day. They say, do them thrice a day. And,
right.
10, 15 times 3 reps, twice. And if I had the time, I'm sure, and if I was bored out of my mind, I probably would do them. But I'm not doing them. I want to get better, but
right.
I just... So
I want to do nothing and expect results.
That's precisely
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So it's a physio, and it's a physio office. So clearly, people being
they don't have physios in New York.
It's physical therapy.
Physical therapy.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't have physiotherapists.
No,
That's what you do.
It's called professional physical therapy. Is the place. It's the only one my insurance would cover.
Yeah.
So it's the physical therapist handing a sheet of paper to the guy, and he's saying, "Here's a list of boring exercises you can pretend you've been doing when you're back next week."
Yeah, I like that. I do like, is there something in, instead of boring exercise, and here's a list of things you can lie to me about later?
That's the idea.
Because I like the idea of that explicit idea of, I'm just going to lie to this professional's face.
Yeah. Well, that's what everyone does. They come back and they go, look, I've been doing the exercises, but it's not getting better.
Yeah.
You just want them to fix it is what you want.
Yeah.
You want to walk in, get fixed, and walk out.
Yeah.
But that's not how it works.
No, exactly. That's why I go to when I go to a chiropractor, I'm like, just
chiropractor.
click me and then I can walk better.
See, that's the fake promise. I went to a chiro for a year, did nothing.
No, I stopped going.
Click and a pop, and then you have to go back again.
Yeah. No, I stopped.
I stopped
altogether. Yeah.
What a rort.
Oh, it's a real scare. I like the. I like that idea. Yeah. The caption,
I
think.
To it, do you think?
I think the caption just needs a bit of tightening.
Yeah, something to do with, because I tried to sort of wind it down into something a little bit more. So, or is it a Pilates studio maybe? Because Pilates is the same kind of thing. They're exercises that you can do at home without a reformer, without a machine that they give you like a TheraBand.
Oh no, I think it's better if it's a physical therapist because that's a person who knows what they're talking about. Who has trained in this.
Right.
Is more than likely a doctor.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I got to do it. Just take this shit.
And I want
You're not
to
going to
look
use it.
beaten down.
Yeah.
This is just, I know you're going to lie to me about this.
Yeah.
Just take the sheet. I have to give you the sheet. Can we get a photo of me giving him the sheet,
here's
please?
Here's some exercises you can...
Just to prove I did.
You can lie to me about doing next week.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe here's a list of boring exercises you can lie to me about doing when you're back.
I think I just like the idea of the lie.
Yeah.
Like that is the intrinsic part of that relationship.
Totally. Lie to me about doing next week.
Yeah.
That's
Just
great.
to go back to the thing you said.
With the buses? Or?
No. About it's the only one my insurance covers.
Yeah.
Is there something in that, like a really shonky...
There's something in that, yes. Insurance is in America is such a bizarre... See, this is something we've both had to navigate. But there's definitely something in... It's like I've got insurance glasses that I had to pick up this week. I can't afford regular... They're insanely expensive to get proper glasses, right?
Right.
It's just so expensive. So my insurance covers...
Like how expensive? Like and I've never worn...
$500.
And what would you pay for that elsewhere, like in Australia?
Oh, they'd be free. Medicare, HBF, whatever.
Oh,
Just
right.
Free glasses.
Right.
You know, it's covered because it's health insurance.
Yeah.
And here, there's a copay of like $137 or something like that.
Sure.
That's for insurance glasses. So you go in, and it's the jankiest store. It's on the Lower East Side. It's on Delancey. It's called Triangle Optical.
Great.
And it's between a cigarette shop and
That's what I was
and
thinking.
a tire store.
Well, I was thinking like if it's a mixed business,
yeah.
so it's
slash
like
masseuse.
slash masseuse or and like tires fitted, like
while you wait.
and you're like, well, and the person is like, it's not the best, but it's covered by my HMO.
It's the only one.
It's the only one
now,
covered by my HMO.
What does that stand for again?
Oh, I did know the
HMO,
answer.
Health Medical Organ. No, what is it? HMO.
Health Maintenance Organisation.
Okay, so HMO. It's the only one covered by my HMO. Yeah, it's not much, but it's the only one
Yeah, oh,
my
well,
insurance covers.
Yeah, it's the only one my insurance.
Yeah, I want to get there as quick as possible.
Yeah.
That's I love the idea of I can really draw it up like.
Oh,
nice
you can
and
see it, and a guy like
dilapidated.
smoking
Yeah,
with
yeah,
a
yeah.
doctor's coat on.
Totally. But also,
and,
like-
and muddy hands, like he's clearly also a mechanic. Maybe he's got a spanner and a stethoscope.
Greasy hands.
Greasy hands.
And that blue onesie that the mechanics wear.
But with a doctor's coat over the
Yeah.
top with a spanner,
Classic.
stethoscope.
And then there's a
smoking.
calendar with nude women on it in the background.
Nude nurses, though.
Nude nurses.
Topless nurses.
Nude optometrists. That's great. I like that very much. Yeah, all
I think
right.
that's funny.
I'm
Like,
gonna
that's
draw that
really
up.
funny.
That's
Like,
really
when
fun.
you said that,
Yeah.
my insurance, the amount of my friends
Oh
that
my
are like,
God.
yeah, like they have to drive forever and
Yeah.
they're going out to the middle of nowhere.
Totally. It's like Apple Care. Like, you know how there at one stage in Manhattan there were only like 2 Apple stores that you could go to if you had
Right,
if
yeah,
you wanted to
yeah,
make
yeah.
an appointment. And one was all the way up in the Bronx or something.
That's right.
And the other one was on Fifth Avenue.
There was
Literally
the
on
one across the street from the park. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was just impossible. You'd like wait 2 weeks for an
Yeah,
appointment.
yeah.
Yeah, because that was the only, like your Apple Care only covered
Yeah.
those appointments. Now it's a little better, but it's kind of the same with like if I want to get, even this physio thing, I called immediately when I done my shoulder and it took a week and a half to get. They go, well, all we've got is 9 a.m. on Thursday morning. And if you know me,
Great.
that's a challenge.
That's great. That's great.
I wanted to go in and get fixed and he just gave me a sheet of paper.
Just on that, because
Yeah.
it kind of just to hijack your
Sure,
pictures for a
by all
second,
means.
I had written down here something to talk to you about.
Mm-hmm.
Is the idea of a wellness coach. A friend of mine's
Yes.
gone to a wellness coach, and they tell
What's a
you
wellness
Well, it's
coach?
bullshit, is what it is, and it's like someone that tells you like. You know, you've just got Mercury's in retrograde, and you've got to make sure.
God.
Have you been chanting and all this
I want to
bullshit?
clear chakra.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking is there's someone like that, like a hippie, the aunt that instead of getting married decided to travel around India, and she's got like she looks like Steven Tyler now, and
Classic.
she's got
Yeah.
and like she's the wellness coach, and then
Baggy,
next
happy
to her
pants.
is someone with a polo shirt tucked into shorts,
Yeah.
holding a clipboard. Cap on, whistle, the wellness assistant coach.
That's great. I love that.
I don't know how. That's
that's
all
funny.
I've got. That was the idea, but I think, just hearing you talk about wellness things.
Yeah. Wellness coach is fun. Coach anything. So
Coach is always funny. So
life coach
Yeah.
and assistant life coach.
assistant life coach is
Because I think
better.
life coach is more ubiquitous than wellness
Yeah,
coach.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love wellness coach
Yeah.
as an idea because that's so great to draw. That's such a funny the hip and maybe like the tie-dye
Well, that
t-shirt.
could be a life coach.
That could be a life
Yeah,
coach.
I mean, God.
Yeah, it's a bit hippy-dippy.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah.
I must say the cap with the whistle and the polo shirt and shorts is the international sign of assistant coach.
Isn't it?
Footy, soccer,
Anything.
NFL,
Yeah, yeah.
baseball. It's so funny.
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah. And you know the glasses they're wearing, those aviators.
Exactly,
Yeah,
the glasses. That's so funny. I think we actually drew them for the Super Bowl last year. Remember we had
That's probably where I kind of got the thought
Yeah.
of, I think. Yeah, what did we have
it was
for that?
the halftime dance choreographer.
That was it.
Yeah, so we had the coach, assistant coach, halftime dance choreographer.
So, the choreography, yeah.
That was an early effort before we had a pod, I think.
That was, yeah. I remember that one.
Can't wait for winter. Looking forward to more football.
Which go really well in the New Yorker. Big sports crowd.
Yeah.
Sorry, go back. Yeah.
No. So what else you got this week?
No, you've got
a
more.
couple. I've got a couple. If I may.
Yeah. If not now, then when?
If not now, when? Okay. So here's my third one. Gates of Heaven. And forgive me for doing a Pearly Gates cartoon.
Yeah.
It's St. Peter, and he's got a clipboard.
Yeah.
The guy's in a suit and tie, but it's sort of loosened. His life's been nothing but drudgery.
Michael Douglas falling down.
There you go. This is why we're friends.
Yeah.
Short sleeves.
Yeah. Short sleeve.
Short sleeves and a briefcase.
A haircut you could set your fucking watch to.
Thick rim glasses.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
So it's basically Michael Douglas in Falling Down at the pearly gates of heaven.
Excellent.
St. Peter looking petrified.
Yeah.
That's a great film. It holds up too. And St. Peter's saying, would you have a moment to take a short survey about your experience?
Oh, that's pretty good.
Now, I want to throw this at you because that's just one scenario for that. It's almost like the Christ, what an asshole. Or I'd like to add you to my professional network on LinkedIn, because that's that caption. Would you have a moment to take a short survey about your experience? It could be the devil in hell, because to me it is hell. Every single thing I do, they send you an email. Would you mind taking? Do you have a moment to take a short survey about your experience? And I literally just copy and pasted the dial.
Yeah.
Because it's uniform across every industry. So what's another scenario that's so unlikely, but sort of unseemly to have a survey? Is it a surgeon after? No, that's an actual thing they do. When you have surgery, I had a gastroscopy.
Oh, after sex.
After sex, that's great.
In bed.
Yeah, in bed. Great. And does he have a clipboard?
I think he's got a clipboard, and if he's saying, like, I know you've got an early meeting in the morning, but would you mind? The classic excuse that she's given.
I know you've got to get up early.
Yeah.
But would you mind taking
a short survey to
That's pretty
discuss?
good.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's been done now, because that's such a good... Because sex is that's always such a great...
And you see the kind of
post-coital
in bed
cigarette.
smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. No, all right, I'm going to draw it up and pitch it. I think that's really funny.
Yeah.
Because what's another... Like, just as a backup, if we pitch it and she's like, it's been done... What's another one?
I'm trying to think of something where it would just slow everything down, like if everyone getting off the train.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
you know what? There's a new guy in charge of the MTA who's come over from Britain, and he actually has been wandering around stations of the 374 stations in all of New York and asking people about their experience as they're going through the turnstile. Most people are just giving him the fucking finger.
Yeah.
And he's so polite and British.
I've seen him actually, yeah.
Have you?
I haven't seen him in person, but I've seen him on the telly, yeah.
Yeah, so he's the saviour of the MTA apparently. He fixed up Canada's system and the UK's tube, and so now he's here as the Messiah.
Prisoner being released.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gates, it's like the start
Just before you go.
Just before you get one last thing. Would you mind taking... That's funny.
Yeah. Wearing his court suit and his little suitcase.
And it's like dawn. There's a car waiting for
him.
Yeah.
Real Henry Hill even.
Henry Hill is exactly what I'm thinking. Yep. No, that's great. All right, so I'll do those. So I'll just have them as backups. I love the post-coital one. I think the winner.
sex is probably the winner.
Yeah. Because... Pearly Gates,
when you said that, I was thinking, is there a way to have like, I like the idea of St. Peter saying that we've updated our privacy policy.
Oh, that's, right. Well, that's another one that has been doing the rounds lately.
That's been doing the,
because after the European Union updated their whole internet thing, and so everyone's been getting those emails.
Yeah, that's right.
I think there was a daily in the New Yorker about it.
I think we pitched one.
I'm sure we did. Yeah. A lot of people were doing that joke. Yeah. Like I think even stand-ups were doing it for a while, just sort of throwing it in, updating their privacy policy. And
I think we had it as a breakup. Does that sound right?
Yeah, no,
I'm
think we
updating
did.
my privacy policy
Something
so I
like
can't
that.
see you anymore.
Something along those lines of we're updating our privacy policy. I wonder, did people... Is it in Australia? Is that something that's
I'm
going
not
on?
sure
or-
because I was in Europe when it all kicked off.
Right,
and
right.
every website you went to,
Yeah,
every
right.
single website
And
is,
then
then we're
you-
updating our privacy policy.
Right.
You've got your cookies, you've got to accept, and it's this whole thing.
Right. Well, the internet's getting very litigious, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, so it should.
yeah. It's not the end
It's
of the
gone
world.
unchecked for a while, yeah.
It had a good run.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
It's like going into Deadwood
Yeah.
and being like, used to be so much more dysentery around here. Damn liberals.
That's funny. Oh, I've got some good news.
Go on.
So you know the new Gus Van Sant movie is out?
Oh, the
It's-
one about the New Yorker
Yeah,
cartoonist?
John Callahan. Yeah, it's called Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot, based on his life.
So
a
it's
book
out
on his
already?
life. Yeah, it just came out on Friday.
Oh.
We're recording
so
this
what
on...
was the point of your lunch with him the other week? They're not going to film anything that you said?
Well, no, there's going to be an article in the New Yorker. By the time this episode comes out,
Oh.
there will be an article in the New Yorker about that lunch in probably Talk of the Town that
That's
Emma,
right.
I think, is writing.
Right.
I'll cut this out if it doesn't come out. But,
Yeah.
and I just sort of I'd made a couple of sketches that afternoon. One on the tablecloth at lunch.
Good.
And another one when
Like
I got
an
home.
adult would.
Like an adult would, you know.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to dinner with a cartoonist and it's a paper tablecloth? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to draw it.
Yeah.
So I did a quick sketch of Sam Gross talking to Gus,
Sam Gross being...
a great cartoonist who influenced John Callahan. He was very much a mentor to John Callahan. And I
Right.
think he's in the film too. I think Sam is
right.
represented in the film. And I just sort of, it was sitting on my
It's
computer.
always hard if you're ever portrayed
Yeah, for sure.
and the person portraying you isn't George Clooney, Brad Pitt or Ryan Gosling.
Funny.
You're always going to be...
Well, what I found out was that Gus had been working on this film for a long time, and it was Robin Williams who actually wanted to do it, and so they had to recast with Joaquin Phoenix instead. And I think he was actually, I can't really imagine Robin Williams doing it now that I've seen Joaquin Phoenix's take. It's very good. It's very true to, I think, the Callahan kind of character. Anyway,
Is this, I mean, without being glib, is this the safest bet from a mental health perspective? Like, if you've already been burnt there once,
That's a good
why
point.
would you go to this?
yeah, that's
Get one of the Wayans brothers. Then they're not
one
good.
of the Wayans
They're
brothers.
not. They might not be that great for the role, but they're
Yeah.
balanced.
Well, let me tell
You
you
know what I
this.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you told me one of the Wayans brothers had killed himself, I'd be genuinely shocked.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they wouldn't have
Marlon
that.
did what?
Marlon Wayans
Get the
Jr.
Really?
Yeah. Don't worry, he won't get far on foot. Actually, on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it's at 93%.
Oh, wow.
Which is very good.
Wow.
For a Gus Van Sant lately. No,
Well,
94.
to give you some perspective, Paul Blart Mall Cop is 33.
Wow, really? Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the audience score? 100.
Yeah, of course.
Of course
Yeah.
it is. So anyway, I made a quick sketch when I got home, sitting at the writing desk,
Right.
and didn't think anything of it. Kind of just threw it in the bunch of sketches, and then I thought, I should probably scan that, just keep it as a record. And then Friday night, I thought, I saw that the film had come out. I thought, I'll just flick it to Emma because she was there. She might like
Emma,
it.
the cartoon editor.
of the, New Yorker.
of the New Yorker.
And I just sort of shot it over and said, thanks again for the invite to lunch. Here's the drawing I made. And she was like, I love it. I want to buy it.
Oh, fantastic.
So
oh,
I sold
good work.
that. And it's not a cartoon. It's just a piece of art that I drew.
Oh, that's great.
So that's a new thing for me, selling art that
How
doesn't
does
have a
this
gag.
include me? That's what I'm worried about. I don't understand the point of any of this.
Don't worry. When I post it, I'll just say, listen to me and Scott
This has
come
been
up with this
has
drawing."
been at best an annoying story. That's great though, man. That's fantastic.
There's nothing in this. All right. Now, what do you got this week? You're apparently thin, but
I'm
every time you
thin.
say that, it's good stuff.
I'm
so.
thin. I like this, but I think it's been done.
Okay. All right.
Neptune as a style guide, but unnamed underwater god
Yeah.
at an airline counter.
Like an air.
At an airport
Yep.
counter,
Check-in?
check-in, kind of talking to someone,
Okay.
talking to the person, and the airline,
Hostess.
the employee
Yeah.
there is saying, the best I can do is get you on the 2:15 to Atlanta.
Oh. Now, this is an Atlantis joke. I wonder if... Yeah, that's not terrible. You think it's thin. That's pretty good. I'm picturing Neptune.
Tried it, the whole
Tried
thing,
it.
and like, look, the best I can do, I can get you on the 2:15 to Atlanta.
2:15
and then
to
it's
Atlanta.
like, and you know they do that. Like I've been in the
yeah.
situation where there's been storms somewhere and they've gone, I can get you to Chicago.
Yeah,
because then you're their
that's as far as
problem.
I
That's
can-
like,
Yeah.
they don't give a shit.
You're just handballing it.
They can bounce you around
Yeah.
the eastern seaboard or into the Midwest. Like they don't give a shit.
Especially from Georgia, that seems to be a very
Well, it's a
central-
hub, yeah. It's a Delta hub,
It is
I
a Delta
think,
hub, yeah. I've done that before, actually. I've been bounced around.
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
storm.
yeah.
When I was coming back from Tennessee, it was a nightmare. I like the idea of everyone else just looking absolutely straight-laced normal.
And he's enormous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best
and
I can do.
Scales.
Scales, trident, also like those kind of tribal tattoos like the guy in...
Moana. The Rock.
Yeah, I'm going to combine a lot of different tropes here.
Well, I was thinking like
And he's got like...
Ariel's old man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, King Trident.
Yeah.
And he's got a beard, except maybe it's a black, not a white beard, like a black beard.
Yeah.
The best I can do is get to Atlanta. Atlantis, there was a Disney film called Atlantis. It flopped, and they had a lot of like clear Atlantis they sort of set the standard for this is Atlantis people now. This is what they look like.
Right.
As far as general...
Well, I know that the Atlantis joke was made by Futurama.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, they
When?
did an episode where they went to the lost city of Atlanta and it was underwater.
Interesting.
But
art director of Futurama, of course, Bill Morrison, who's now the editor of Mad Magazine. So if there's just a little tidbit, if there is an actual thing on, I don't want to SS this cartoon up more than it has to. Is there a sign that has like Atlantis cancelled?
No. I think it's him.
Yeah.
He somehow found himself here.
Yeah.
He knows that people travel, and this is where they go to airports to travel.
Oh, okay.
And he's asked for Atlantis.
Does he have a carry-on
And she
bag?
is like, look, the best I can get you to Atlanta.
That's funny.
That's as good as I can do.
Okay. Can we put a cameo of the Vulture with his carry-on in the background?
If you to call back a rejected cartoon.
What did she say when you pitched that?
Oh, she was. It wasn't that. It was. Oh, I get that.
Yeah,
that was it. It was that kind of. I understand it.
Every week I put one in the batch that's that, and she goes, "Yep." And
Yeah,
then
I see
just
that.
politely moves on.
Yeah. This one I think you'll like.
Okay.
It's someone trying to get a seat at a cafe.
Okay.
And it's kind of got different sections like above it. You know, like at Katz's where they've got the signs hanging up saying like, this is the seat she sat in. And then there's other sections like, this is for if you've got takeout or whatever it is.
Celebrity photos on the wall, signs.
Maybe, but it's more a cafe like a kind of a hip cafe. Where,
Oh, okay. All right.
And the server is saying... there's a couple there trying to get in, and the server is saying, we have nothing in working on a screenplay, but I have 2 in unrecognized genius.
Fantastic. That's great.
And then, but maybe some of the others are like letters to the editor, and it's an old lady or whatever.
That's funny.
Like that's what I mean by the sections are clearly marked.
Yeah. That's great. Wow. Now, you live in Brooklyn.
I do.
So this is a very common thing. A lot of laptops out at cafes.
Yeah, well, I was somewhere, I don't know.
Not that there's not in Manhattan, it's just that there just seem to be a lot of screenwriters working on screenplays in Manhattan.
Yeah, getting
it's
the
like,
pilot up. Yeah,
it's like LA. It's like there's a specific area along I think it's like Hollywood Boulevard or something like that in Santa Monica that's like it's just all cafes full of screenplay writers, laptops out. Bought one coffee for $3 and been there for 8 hours.
Yeah. Right. So that was, I think I was somewhere and everyone was on a laptop.
Yeah.
And it was, so that's
the
what.
Ace Hotel lobby, I think you'll find. On 28th and 5th.
It was. It was the Ace Hotel.
Yeah,
I went to meet up with Will.
Yeah.
He was staying there.
That's the
That
hub.
was
That's
it.
where they breed them.
That was it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an idea.
Great.
Wellness assistant we talked about. Oh, now this was they had the Emmy announcements and our buddy Ronnie was nominated for the Daily Show.
He was, yeah.
And he
Congrats,
put up
Ronnie.
did you see the image he put up? Which was
No.
it was like the Daily Show, Colbert Report.
Oh, yeah. I think I did see that.
Like, you know when they announced the nominations.
Yeah.
I was thinking drama categories, and it was like Clara not returning a text, Mike calling Jane Meredith, the brunch thing with Jorta, Elena knows Denise scratched Steve's car, and guy on train who wouldn't take off backpack.
That's good.
And we can have just a little image of each
That's great.
thing.
Can we New York up them a little bit? Can
Yeah,
we
yeah.
make
Well,
them-
they were just kind of
Yeah.
ideas in the
No,
first
that's good. I like that.
drop of a hat. But yeah,
That's almost a shout. That's almost shout-worthy.
the drama category.
Because as the nominations come up for the Emmys,
Yeah.
and people like there's a lot more pieces coming out, like blog pieces in New York.
Oh yeah.
They sort of write about it, and I think it's I can't remember the writer who she always writes about the Emmys every year. She's been doing it for many years. Not Sarah Larson. What's her name?
Emmy Larson.
Very good.
Thank you.
We can probably pitch it as a shout rather than trying to squeeze it into one little pocket cartoon. I like the idea. Can you read out the things again? Can you read out the
Clara not returning a text.
Yeah.
Mike calling Jane Meredith.
Okay.
The brunch thing with Jota. That's my favorite
The
one.
brunch thing
That's
with
my
Jota is
favorite
very
one.
funny. I like that.
Elena knows Denise scratched Steve's car. And guy on the train who wouldn't take off his backpack.
Ooh. Okay. Now, I think I wrote a bunch of these down. Remember when I said I had that thing like levels of Jason getting angry?
Oh, yeah.
I actually wrote down a whole bunch more, so maybe we can even warp them in there.
And yeah, that's it. That's
Cool.
They're three.
Well, by the way, I deeply appreciate you wearing a fucking Mets hat just when the Yankees lost the other day. That was really nice.
I have no idea what's going on. That's you think far too much about this.
You went to a Mets game.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was fun.
And I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Baseball's a fun game to watch.
It is.
Unless no one scores for 10 innings.
10 innings, it was 0-all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I said to the guy next to me, I said, does it go to penalties eventually? Like, what do we do?
Penalties.
What happens? How do you
Does
get
it
a
go to
result?
penalty?
And I know, when the team's going poorly,
Yeah.
when after this guy hit the winning run and they won the game, and
Yeah.
then, they interviewed him on the field
Yeah.
around the thing, and the guy was like, I just want to say thank you to everyone for staying.
That's funny.
And thank you just for coming. He said, thank you just for coming. Like, and then me and Ashka were like, I think we're supporting a bunch of losers.
Welcome to Mets, my friends.
Yeah, because you never hear
funny.
LeBron go, I just want to thank you so much for coming to watch.
Thank you so much for
It
coming
just means
out.
so much that you're here.
It's something that someone says at a festival show in Melbourne.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You had all these other choices.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming to my game.
Yeah, my one. Yeah, thanks for coming to my game. So yeah,
great.
the Mets are a bunch of losers.
I once went to Fenway with a bunch of mates to watch
It's the Boston
yeah,
homegrown.
yeah. To watch the Red Sox play the Royals, and it went in 16 innings.
I went and saw the Royals play the Red Sox.
Last year?
Yeah.
I was at that game. Oh, well, it would have been one of 3 games, but it was a 16-inning long match on a Friday night.
Oh, maybe.
We were blotto by the end of
No,
it.
I went on the Saturday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a big game on a Friday night. And it was not
That's
terrible.
so funny. We were both in Boston at the same time.
Yeah. I don't think we were hanging out
No.
too much back then. That's funny. There you go. Anyway, we have some suggestions
Oh, good.
in.
Listener suggestions.
Listener suggestions. Thank you for sending them in. Be sure to send in yours via Instagram at Jason Chatfield, or you can tweet them at me, Jason_Chatfield, or just email jasonchatfieldcomedy@gmail.com. This one, no name, anonymous.
Oh, I like that already.
Yeah, already a bit shady. Hi, guys. Love the show. Is there
Liar!
We'll see about that. Is there something in this? A pirate or two sit behind desks in an old school classroom. Captain Jack Sparrow is standing on top of one of the desks.
Yeah.
Caption
I
says,
wonder where this is going.
Pirates of the Carpe Diem.
Oh, fuck off. That's so good. That is so good.
There is definitely something in that, Mr. Anonymous.
That is
He goes,
pretty
I know
funny.
neither of the movies referenced are current or topical, but what do you think? Oh, here he goes. He's given away his name at the very end. I don't read these before I bring one up.
Yeah. That's funny. Though.
Luke Gray is his name.
Luke Gray.
P.S. Love the podcast theme music. Very Cantina band. Thanks, mate.
Do you know that's done by...
Are we
actually, I
allowed to
can't say who it's done
No, we can't say. People ask, and I always say I can't say.
Yeah.
So. But he's very talented.
Very talented. Very, very talented.
Cheers,
and
Luke Gray. That's so funny. Pirates of the Carpe Diem.
I like that.
I'm just going to draw it up because that sounds really funny.
It's really silly.
I love that. I love silly. Now, that's not the first pirate. I don't want to jump ahead because if you want to punch that up a bit, you're welcome to.
I'm trying to... No, I think that's...
I reckon it's funny on its
Pirates
own.
of the Carpe Diem is really so stupid.
Yes.
And
But enough people know.
And a second Robin Williams reference in this podcast today.
I rode past the mural of him.
Spooky.
I think it's on like 9th and C. And it says, no, between B and see on it. I don't know. Anyway, it's a big mural of Robin Williams, and it says, "Keep on smiling."
He never said that, did he?
No, he never. First of all, he never said that. And for a guy who had depression and hid it behind a smile,
Keep on smiling.
Don't keep
is
on
like.
smiling.
That's what they say at the end of a game show in the 70s.
Yeah, keep on smiling,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, well,
Good
the
night.
studio, yeah.
Yeah. Sale of the Century is
That's weird.
filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah. John Carandona's shoes.
You going to Vanuatu?
Suits by Ruben F. Scarf.
Wow, you're bringing it all back. Okay, now, so I had a gig every night last week. I was out every night last week.
I went out drinking every night last week.
Same thing, mate.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
I saw you after.
Only thing is I got paid
Yeah.
to drink.
Yeah.
No, I got drink tickets is what I got. And there were some great shows, some terrible. But one person came up after the show.
Sure.
Because I plug the gigs on my social media.
Right.
And people, if they're in town, they go, "Oh, yeah, I'll go along."
Oh, good.
Someone came up after the show. "Hey, mate, love the podcast. We got
That's amazing.
Yeah, in the wild.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And what's more, they had a suggestion.
Oh, great. What's
I
their
got
pitch?
a suggestion pitch to me in the wild.
Great.
Live.
Great.
This has never happened before. Okay, and I'm not going to give away their name because they didn't give it to me.
Okay.
But I just get a bit of a handshake and thanks a lot. Okay, now, thing is, it's not very PC.
Oh, okay.
So it's a bit like they've had a few beers, they've seen a comedy show, and they're going, "Oh, I reckon I could do this." And then they've pitched one at me. It was an Australian, an expat.
Sure.
If that makes a difference. Asian pirate. Do we even... All right, so it's an Asian
It's
pirate.
a Pilates joke.
How did you know? Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's no good, is it?
No.
As soon as I said Asian pirate, you were like, I'm out, I'm done. I don't want this.
That's telegraphed.
And it really tainted the fact that it was my first suggestion that I got in the wild. I was like, oh, I hope it's a good one.
Yeah.
And as he's saying, I'm just smiling politely and nodding and
Nah.
going, yeah, mate, that's great.
That's good. That's good.
That's really funny. There's definitely...
I think we cut that.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. So thank you for your suggestions. Please be sure to send them in. What do you got going on, Scotty boy?
Oh, nothing. Just hanging out. Just living.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
Nothing. Just going to fucking nothing. All right. This is coming out next week. Okay. Actually, can I plug something?
Yeah.
I've actually got a big show coming up on the 26th, Thursday the 26th. Picture this. Really fun show. It's live cartooning with big stand-up comedians. And it's always really fun. It's opening a big animation festival, animation block party.
Oh.
So lots of people that you probably might know, other cartoonists in New York and animators working on big shows on Nickelodeon and Comedy Central,
right.
all that kind of thing. So yeah, get along. 26th, Thursday. Hit me up if you want to know any more details.
Okay, I will.
Beauty.
I saw you put something up, the Scotchbath thing.
Yes, because today is Scotchbath Sunday, Scott. And
Go
I'm
on.
going to go home, I'm going to get in the bath, and I'm going to pour myself a nice glass of
I'm
scotch.
so glad because every time I'm doing this, I've thought,
Yep.
that sounds disgusting. It
Ooh.
would be all sticky, and why would you want to? And I thought
Bathe
you were
in
bathing
scotch.
in scotch.
How much money do you think I
Well,
made
I don't
on the
know.
dandruff
This is what I'm
commercial?
thinking. Is this dandruff money?
I'm not bathing in Johnny Walker.
That's what I thought you were.
I'm bathing in a bath of water, and I have this thing that I put across my lap that's above the
Oh,
bath.
I love those things.
And I draw the cartoons that I pitch to the New Yorker, and I drink scotch.
Do you ever drop them in? Do you ever drop the things into the
yes,
water?
Yes, I'm an idiot, and I've now stuck some felt to the top of the wooden thing to avoid that happening.
We'll
in
see
the
who's
future.
dumber than me.
Next week on Is There Something in This?
I had a.
That's right.
Do you ever do the thing where you realize how low the standard you set for yourself is, and it kind of it always pops up in a weird kind of shocking way.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
mine was when I lived in the East Village, and there was no soap holder except there was a ring. It almost looked like a cup holder.
Oh, I
And-
know what you're talking about.
And I'd have this soap that was curved, this Dove soap, and I'd be forever putting it with the concave way up,
Yep.
and it would always fall through,
yeah,
until
yeah.
one day
Yeah.
one day I turned it over.
Of course he did.
And I put it there so the convex.
How happy, be honest, how satisfied
I
were
was,
you?
dude, I was so and
Yeah.
I said, do you know what I thought to myself?
Yeah.
And this is a genuine thought that I had,
yeah.
which was a monkey would never have figured that out. Ever in a million years. You could put a monkey in this situation for eternity. They wouldn't come up
We
with
could
that.
put a monkey in space.
Yeah.
But he would never figure out to
because
flip
you
the
know what?
dove.
I put him in space.
That's the show.
It's actually something that happened.
You're like Homer Simpson. You really are. But your day to day. The little successes that you have.